There's a couple hands that I wanted us to do, and I want you to be able to see it from the kib box in BBO, but I'm going to have to sit at multiple seats from time to time. I've got thick skin here. Hopefully I can make it work, and I'll try to keep the video as clean as possible, but there may be times when there are more than, when there are four hands showing later on in the video. Or if you are watching the share screen in Zoom, you're going to have the same problem going there. So the first week we talked about counting points. How can we just count the points around the table? Week two, we focused on patterns of distribution. The idea that you really don't want to be ever counting to 13 at the table when you can be just as efficient counting to 4 or 3 or 2. And that's by counting the distribution of the cards around the hand and noting when people show out. And once they show out, that means you can see your hand, you can see the dummy, and you know that they're out of hands, and that's 3 numbers, and that will give you the 4th number. So if you have 5, and you can see 3 in the dummy, and somebody shows out on the third deal, on the third trick in that suit, then you will know they're 5, 3, 3, 2 distribution. So you can place that all around the table. In week 2, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. There's a video with just patterns. Literally just start at the beginning, set the playback a little slow, and run through them. Do it more than once. Do it every other day for a while until you start kind of hardwiring your brain to think in terms of patterns as opposed to counting 13, right? I mean, you don't want to be sitting at the bridge table going, okay, that's 11 of them, there's 2 more out, when you could have counted 5, 3, 3, 2, or 4, 4, 3, 2, and figured it out long before. Okay. So then, third week, we started working on, still on distribution, but we started working in the auction, right? And what we were doing was simply paying attention to what the bidding was and what kind of information we got from the bidding. Okay, so we're still in that same context of trying to figure of distribution, which means to a certain extent you don't need to think about how am I going to make this contract or how I'm going to defend it. We are nearing that point, and maybe we'll discuss some of that today based on the distributions. But what we're going to do today is basically get what we can from the auction and then start playing the hand and seeing what information we get from the playing of the hand. Okay? And that will help us fill out the distribution. In other words, we'll start to play the hand. If somebody shows out, we'll know they were void. Right? If they follow once, we'll know they had 1 if they then show out. Right? So we'll keep track of that, and we will try to build our skill set, right? This element of the defense, which is counting. And the top 3 things in playing defense are counting, counting, and counting. And if you don't want to face up to that fact, right, then you're never really going to be able to excel at defense. You're going to be following nursery rhymes, and you're not going to be really thinking or planning. Right? So you got to do it. And I know it's hard. I know it's really hard. You know, I'm 10 years in, and I still struggle. And but it's something that has to be done. And most of it is just doing it on defense. And if you want to practice every time you sit at the table, 1 out of every 4 hands, you're going to get a chance to practice when you're the dummy. Count while you're the dummy. Don't worry about what your partner is doing. Try counting the suit distributions. Okay, this is a practice you have to get good at. Now, I think early on I told you that my aspiration is to someday be a competent defender. Right? I have not set this bar very high because defense is really hard. But I figure if I could be competent, right, I'd be scoring a lot better than most people at the table, because defense is so hard and people don't do the work. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and decide, where am I going with bridge? Is this something I want to be good at? And do I want to be competitive? So then you're going to have to just buckle down and do the work. Okay? And it's doable. Right? to one extent to the other, and it will always get better if you're practicing. It will never shrink. Well, it might shrink for me in some point. I mean, I'll lose cognitive ability at some point, I guess. But until that point, your ability to count and understand distribution and the points around the table should just keep increasing. All right, let's look at this hand. I've got what, 5, 7, 8, 4, 12 points, and I'm going to open a club. My partner bids a heart. All well and good there. I'm going to bid 2 hearts, right, with my minimum hand with 4 support. He's threw in a double. Should have an opening hand for that double. And obviously he must have diamonds and spades. And I'm in the wrong seat. So let me change this already. Sorry about that. Needed to set you guys for... I put the wrong thing there. For west, which is where I'm headed to. So come on. Boy, the computer is working so slow. Okay. So now we need a robot in south. So there's the auction. I help them along. They get to 4 hearts, and my partner leads a diamond. So the thing that we want to do is, if we were following along with the auction, right, we can see that there was a heart overcall, which is at least 5, right? And the dummy comes down with 4, right? Do I have that right? Yeah, North overcalled. Oh, North responded a heart. So he has it 4. My partner doubled, and then South bid a heart. So they have 4 and 4. And the question is, how many hearts does East have? Right? It seems as though they're in a heart suit with a bad split. Right? Heart. Right? Could be 4, 4, 4, 1. If North happened to have 5, it would be 5, 4, 3, 1. So we can see that this is a hand that might have some possibilities for us. Looking at the spade suit, we don't have a whole lot of information except that our partner doubled. Right? Our partner doubled, which is a promise of at least 4. If he has 4, we know how many hearts, we know how many spades North should have. Right? Does anybody want to venture an estimate here? Yeah. If my partner has 4, it should be 4, 4, 3, 2. And these are, when I'm talking to you about patterns, this is what I mean. These things get in your head. Pretty soon you're like 4, 4, 3, 2. I got that. Right? So if he's got 4 hearts and 3 spades, that's 7. That leaves him 6 cards in the minors. Let's watch it. Let's go along and see what happens here. Not really playing defense too much yet, right? Because I want us to be focusing on distribution. He led a diamond, and then he switches to the club suit. And the clubs are 5, 4 that we can see, right? So this is a suit we should be able to count fairly quickly, especially if my partner continues them, right? If we're 5, 4, there's only 2 more out. Switches to the spade suit. Here, I'll go ahead and lead a club for us so we can count them out. There's another club. So, at this point in time, do we have the distribution of the declarer's hand? Based on an assumption, right? That he has 4 trump, that he had 3 spades, and 2 clubs. And we know he has 2 clubs because there were 9 between West and South, and they both followed twice to club suit. Right? So how many diamonds does the man have? Yeah. See, so we're what? 4 tricks in, and if we pay attention, we know the full distribution of North's hand. Okay, now it could change, and we would find out when it changed by basically when we find out whether they have 4 hearts or whether they have 5 hearts. And how will we know that? You just got to. There's a couple different ways. First of all, I've only got the one. Me showing out doesn't help us at all. But now watch. He leads another one. Partner plays. Oh, it's right from the auction. That's true. We also had that. So the 4th lead gets us there, right? Or that was, yeah. So actually, the North did not open the club. North responded heart. So he could have 5. I'm just going to claim now. Yeah, and he ends up having 6 of them. Now, we could have gotten that if we were watching the heart suit. We saw that that our partner showed up on the 3rd lead. But the rest of it was right, 6, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2. So our assumption was 4 hearts to start, right? Because he responded. So we knew he had 4 plus hearts, right, when he responded to his partner's club. To determine the length of the heart suit, then, all we had to do was watch and see when our partner showed out, or what will happen more often is they stop leading trump. Right? If they stop leading trump, and it appears that it's their suit, it was going to mean one of 2 things. Either they've pulled all the trump, right? Or our partner has a high trump. Now, in this case, we knew that he didn't have a high trump. So I got a little distracted there at the critical moment. But the key was that as they led the hearts, right, we could have seen that that our partner was showing out on the second one. And that would give us 6, 3, 2, 2. That would give us the thing. Let's try another one. Make sure I'm in the right seat this time. No, I'm not. This one I want to be in South. As you can tell, these are all real hands as I'm jumping around here. I'm going to have you kib South now. Then we'll upload this. And we're going to try the same exercise here. Okay. We're going to try to key into the auction. Key into the auction. See what comes down in the dummy. And go from there. Okay. So I have an interesting hand. Looks like I get to bid at least. I'll open a diamond. There's a double. And then a spade. How many diamonds would you bid with this hand? It's an awfully nice hand. I'm going to bid 3 of them. All right. I'm going to load this up again through the robots off. Well, let me do this. I'll get hit. I have Dix sit in, and that'll help us out. So we get a diamond, double. My partner bows out. Spade, I bid 3 diamonds. Pass, and there we get 3 spades. And this is the auction we were looking for. All right. So here we are. We have some indications about some spade length in East. Right, we got some indications about the spade suit in East, that they have extra length. Their partner doubled, probably showing shortness in diamonds. We'll have at least 3 spades. East bid a spade and then bid a spade over my 3 diamonds. Right, so we know there's some length there, and I would guess that probably there is at least 6. Right. Thick Skin's got a lead here, and oh, he's got a pass. Sorry, and then I got a lead. And I'll start off with the ace of diamonds. All right, so now we get a picture of the whole hand. Right? And if we give, right, if we make an assumption that because of the auction, East started with 6 spades, 6 trumps, we can see that the spade should be split 6, 3, 2, 2. Okay, so we won't expect our partner to have any more than 2 spades. If he happened, I just don't see him bidding an extra one on 5, but we will know, right? If he continues leading spades to pull them, we'll have an idea. Hearts, we see 4-4, right? We see 4-4. And do we have any other clues from the bidding regarding the heart suit? Yeah, although if he has 6 spades, I guess he could have 4 hearts, but it seems like he might mention them otherwise. But he's probably short in hearts, right? Probably short in hearts. All right, so let's see what happens on the diamonds, though. Okay, so now we're counting. We started with 6 diamonds. There's 2 diamonds in West, so the diamonds are 3-2. I'm just going to pop a robot in here so we don't have to think about him. So if everybody follows to the first diamond lead, and if it's 6-2, that means there's 5 of them out there, right? 5 of them between north and south, north and east. So they could split 3-2. They could split 4-1. If they're splitting 4-1, we'll know right now. They didn't. So we know someone has a diamond, right? We know someone has a diamond. Now, the robots are fairly clever. This queen of diamonds is to throw us off. Actually, it's a false card. I'm going to lead diamonds again, not be fooled, and we discover that my partner had 2, right? Did we see how that happened? There were 5 out, right? And we're counting distribution. When they both follow the first time, the diamonds are 4-1, right? When they both follow the second time, the diamonds are 3-2. And then it's just a matter of who has the last diamond. The clever little robot, right, played the queen of diamonds, hoping to convince us not to lead another diamond for the rough. But we did. All right, so we know the diamonds. We know that East, Declare, started with 3 diamonds and 6 spades. That's our assumption on the spades. A good assumption, I think, from the auction, right? So 6, 3, and 9. All he has left is 4. So the only question is, does he have a stiff, right? He's got 4. They're going to break 4-0 or 3-1 or 2-2. Partner leads a heart, right? This suit that will help us figure out the exact distribution of East. So I'll go ahead and play ace of hearts. And we get, and East does not follow. So, what is the distribution of declarer's hand? If he has 6 spades, he has a stiff heart. There you go. So he's 3-3 in the minors. Exactly right. Good job. Okay. Now, we haven't been paying any attention to the actual defense of the hand. We haven't made a plan or anything, right? We're just taking the information that we're getting from the bidding and the information that we're getting from the play of the hand to come up with some distributions. And as you can see, it's not that hard. Here we are at the 5th trick, and we know the distribution of East. We know declares distribution. And from that, we also know the distribution of our partner's hand. Okay? And this is the skill set that we want to acquire to become better defenders. Now, when you first start working on this, you'll find that it creates a lot of noise in your head. Your card playing actually will suffer at the start, right? As you count. So you need to keep working on it, right? You can kind of make it easier for yourself if you decide you're only going to count the suits that matter. Like if you look at your hand and you just think, okay, the only thing that matters is whether my partner has a stiff heart or 2 hearts, right? Then you can count that one. You can do that all the time with the trump suit. On every hand where you're playing a suit contract, you should be counting this same way, watching for someone to show out, paying attention to what the auction was. So let's see, see if we nailed it. Sounded good to me. Yeah, 6-3-3-1. So we got the length of the spade suit from the fact that he bid them again following a takeout double. We got the heart when my partner led a heart to my heart honors and I tried to cash them, and he was able to ruff on the second time. Right? And then we finally got the diamonds by virtue of the fact that somebody had to have, we played 3 rounds of diamonds, and somebody had to show out on the 3rd round, and that person turned out to be my partner. Notice that play that East did on the diamond suit, by the way. It's a very good play. He knew that it could get roughed, right? He knew the distribution as well. So he plays the queen to make it look like he's showing out, because he knows the queen's not going to win a trick anyways. But I went ahead and played another spade. And of course, West, he did not want to ruff with a king of spades. He'd just be giving away spade trick later. So he ducked there and hoped that his false card had fooled me. But being that I could see all 4 suits, all 4 hands, I didn't fall for it. All right, another one. This time we're going to go back to West. Anybody having any problems? I shouldn't say it that way. Is there anybody have any questions about this? So we're back, keeping West. I mean, these are the tools. I'm calling them the elements of defense. It's like, but it's sort of like the tools that you need to do it the right way. So I'm going to pass. Spade, 1 no trump. Pass again. And 2 spades. This hand was from a live game, and somebody made a poor bid here and went to 4 spades. Okay. don't know if that person is in the audience today, so I won't mention their name. We would call this an aggressive raise. We could have 5, 6, 10, 11, 13 points. So over a 2-spade bid, which is showing a minimum hand. You all remember our ambiguous major class. That's showing a minimum hand with at least 5 spades, usually 6. And then, so South really should just be happy to have gotten to 2 spades and bought it there. But bid to 4. Okay, so we end up in 4 spades, which is probably not a good contract. But what do we know about the hand? What do we know about the hand based on the auction? We know North has an extra spade or 2, right? Because they bid them again when their partner tried to bow out at 1 no trump. Now I've seen people bid the 2 spades if they really unbalanced, have a void or a stiff, and really think their partner should not be playing 1 no trump. They may go back to spades, thinking better to be in a 5-2 fit. But most of the time, this will actually be 6 spades and wanting to play there. So let's start with that as our assumption. Okay, an assumption is a term of art. It's something defenders do. They make assumptions about cards. So if we make the assumption that North has 6, then our partner has how many spades? Yeah, that's 6-3-2-2. Look, let's all over it. Yeah, that would make it a 6-3-2-2 suit with my partner and I both holding the spades. So not an unusual lead when you get this situation. And a switch to diamonds. So what's going on in the diamond suit? We can see 4-4. We have any clues from the bidding on the diamond suit? Not really, right? Well, maybe. What if, would North have gone back to diamonds if he had long diamonds? Maybe. Maybe. But let's see if we can figure it out. So they're 5 out, right? There were 4-4 between West and South, right? So that means it's 5 out. They can break 5-0. They didn't, right? Because North led 1. They could break 4-1 if North shows out on this lead. And there you go. So we have 2 suits. We have the assumption of 6 in spades, and we have 1 diamond. Heart suit, might as well do that next, right? It's 4-2 here, so that's 6. There's 7 of them out. Any clues about hearts from the bidding? Not really. See if our partner has another spade. Okay, so that's all the spades. If North has started with 6, based on our assumption, here come the diamonds, which we know North is out of. He throws a club. Right? So now we have seen there were 4 clubs in South, 3 clubs in my hand, and at least 1 club in North. Okay, we started with 6 of them being out, right? And there's somebody showing out in clubs. So what was the distribution of the club suit? We started with seeing South and West, and we were 4-4. 4-4. So the question is, I'm sorry, the club suit we're in. And yeah, still 4-4, right? And North followed twice and then showed out, right? So we know that number. We knew 4. We knew 4 from seeing them. And we knew 2 from the fact they showed out the third time, right? So how many clubs did our partner have? Yep. Yep, exactly. Very good. So we get the distribution. We'll see if the spades were correct, if it was an extra one. Yeah, an extra one. So 6, 4, 2, 1. All right, one more. Actually, let's change it up a little bit. This is west. I'm in west. Okay. Enough of this practicing. Let's actually see if we can play some defense. And probably going to need to, let's see what happens. Let's see if they can handle it. I'm going to put, we got thick skin sitting south. Maybe he will make this happen correctly. This is where I was worried that we might have to. So I'll pass a spade. We get 2 clubs, 2 hearts, and North bids north. You want to bid north? Oh, I got to pass. 2 no trump. Okay, interesting. We get 3 hearts and 4 hearts. Thank you for your help, thick skin. I'll put a robot in there so we don't need to think about it. All right. And that leaves me on lead. Now, something that we'll talk about in the weeks to come is what I like to call carding. And I'm not talking about signaling, okay? I'm not talking about signals. And I guess in a broad sense, I had a discussion with somebody the other day. In a broad sense, carding and signaling are of the same genre. But when I think of carding, I think in particular of what cards we choose to lead from a suit, right? And what cards we choose to win with. Okay, basically leads and wins. All right. So opening lead, which we're going to spend at least a week on, is up here, right? And what we choose to lead is an indication of carding. We have agreements on our carding in terms of leads. And that's because we want to be able to get some information from a lead. All right. Now, we're going to alter some of your preconceptions about what to lead. For instance, I will never touch that 3 of clubs as a lead. And and in the spade suit, I'm not committed to leading the 3 spades. But certainly the ace of diamonds would seem like an awful lead to me right now, right? You generally don't lead unsupported aces, so the lead of an ace might mean something. But that's what carding is. So we're going to be discussing carding as we go forward. Now, the reason why I want to mention that is because carding is also a clue to distribution and points, right? Now, even taking it a step further, carding can be a clue as to specific cards in your partner's hand. For instance, if on this hand, if he led the king of diamonds, I would assume that he had the queen of diamonds, right? Because you would lead king, queen from that holding, right? You would lead the top of that sequence. So we make assumptions based on that as to specific cards, which plays into distribution as well. All right. So here we have some clues as to the bidding. For instance, what does South have in the major suits? Yeah, right. He's 5-5, without a doubt. 5-5, and North chose hearts. So we could assume from this bidding that he had 3 hearts, at least 3 hearts, right? He may have taken a preference to 3 no trump if he only had 2, right? And he definitely doesn't have 3 spades. Right? So we can kind of get a picture already of what the spade suit looks like. What do you think the distribution of the spades is around the table? Remember, North did bid 2 no trump. Yeah, but it looks a lot like it's going to be 5-4-2-2. It looks a lot like 5-4-2-2. Right? When he bid that 2 no trump, North bid 2 no trump, he's saying, I don't have any other suits to show. Right? So 5-4-2-2 in the spades. Excellent job. And what about the heart suit? We only have 2 of them there, but that should be enough to give us an assumption at least. We could be proven wrong at a later point in the hand, but what would we assume the distribution of the heart suit is? Right? It's got to be 5-3-3-2. That's assuming that North is got 3 hearts, which seems like a good assumption to me. Once he hears that his partner has 5, he's like, okay, yeah, we'll play hearts. Otherwise, he might have taken 3 no trump. So that leaves in South's hand. That leaves how many minor tricks? How many minor cards? Sorry, how many minor cards can South hold? Okay. Now let's play some defense. Let's play some defense. He's got 3 minor cards, and he's 5-5 in the majors. What do you want to lead? Right? To beat the contract, in other words, what are you going to lead? There are basically 2 types of defenses. There's some defenses that are based on roughing and whether we want to force the declarer to rough or whether we want to make sure our partner gets roughed. And then there are basically 2 general categories that we would call passive and active. Passive and active. All right. Where it looks like they've got their hand, where our tricks are likely to disappear, right? We want to get active. With South being 5-5 in the majors, do you have some concerns that if he has losers in the minors that they might disappear? Does that make sense? Right? So our fear on this hand is we will never beat them because, this South problem. If he's got minor losers, he might get a chance to pitch them. It's kind of scary. So if that's the case, then what suits do we want to lead to be active, right? We want to lead a minor suits. If we're going to get minor tricks, we want to get them ASAP, exactly. Now what do you want to lead? Okay, we're throwing out our standard leads at this point. It's like we're going to get active. Ace of diamonds leaves us with at least getting to see the dummy, right? All right. So 5-3 in the hearts, we were good there, and it looks like 5-4-2-2 was correct in the spades, right? And that leaves us 3 cards in South's hand. And what is our next play? That's an interesting idea. Underlead the diamond, except that means that on the third round, we're looking to score a trick, score the queen on the third time we go through diamonds. That would mean that South would have 3 diamonds and 0 clubs. Otherwise, he's sure to, I mean, if he only has 2 diamonds or 1 diamond, won't he play the king here, win the trick? And if he's only got 1 diamond, certainly he's going to pitch a club on it. Got to be clubs, right? You know, I love you've actually got the right way, the right idea there, Pat. I like to substitute a word for hope because it's true that your hoping partner has the ace of clubs. You're hoping he has the ace of clubs. Prayer certainly feels the right word, but I really want us to use the word assumption, okay? Because we're making a plan. We're making a plan. Okay, so it's assuming he has the ace of clubs, right? We can score the ace and king of clubs, and then hopefully somewhere along the line, partner will have another trick, right? And it doesn't look like we're going to, right? But yeah, we need him to have the ace of clubs if we got any chance. And if he doesn't have the ace of clubs, this thing's probably going to be gone. So let's see, 3 of clubs I heard. Now this is a carding thing. Okay? This is carding. Our leads matter a lot once we get to the start of the hand, and once we're in the play of the hand. Okay. On opening lead, if we're going to be something beyond beginner players and intermediate players, if we're going to continue to excel, we're going to stop playing Boston on opening lead. Okay, just never do it again. You will lead small from 3, and you will lead top from 2. All right. But once we get to the play of the hand, then what Pat said is exactly right. When we lead low, we're saying I can tolerate a lead back in this hand, in this suit. Okay? We lead low during the play of the hand, not on opening lead, but during the play of the hand, we're saying I have something here. All right? So I think we wanted a low club. Let's see what happens. There's the ace. And now because I've led low, he knows that I'm leading from the king, that I can tolerate the lead back. And actually, it's the robot, so he wasn't thinking anything like that. He just knew that the king of clubs had to be in my hand, right? And now we've seen a diamond and 2 clubs, right? So we led the ace of diamonds, a completely non-standard lead, leading ace, an unsupported ace. And then we switched to the clubs once we saw the king of diamonds, because if we lead another diamond, he wins with the king. And if he only had 1 diamond to begin with, he's going to pitch a club, right? And now we don't get 2 tricks in clubs. But as it is, we score 3 tricks, right? What does South have left in his hand? Yeah, all he's got left is the majors, right? And hardly even matters about, let's see, if we play a club here, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oops, counting too many high. Counting to 13 there, that's bad, right? We've got 8. We've seen 8, so they've been led twice, followed both times. We know what the distribution is. So what to lead next? Probably not a heart. If we're going to defeat this contract, are we going to do it by staying active? Is partner likely to have another top trick someplace? Yeah, somebody else is going to have to do it. I mean, you can lead a spade, right? Probably won't hurt. I mean, there's 5 of them out there. I mean, the problem is if you finesse. I mean, the problem was getting out of our hands without hurting our partner, right? Because couldn't really lead a club. Probably could have led the club, I guess. He would have just pitched a spade. Wouldn't have hurt. But there we were just trying to get out of our hand without damage. So that if our partner had some middling honor like the heart, Queen of Hearts, they would get a chance to play it. Right? We were trying to get out of our hand without finessing our partner out of his heart. All right. So there we used distribution entirely to set up this defeat. We used the distribution of 5-5, 3 in the minors to know that we had to throw caution to the wind and lead diamonds and score our minor tricks immediately. And of course, we assumed that we had minor tricks. This is the best we can do, is make an assumption of this is how we defeat the contract. Everybody with me there? So figuring out the distribution of the hand gave us the defense. Let's see, I'm going to move over to East. Change the teaching options. Looks like this will be the last one for the day. But I think we're moving sort of in a different direction here, right? We're starting to use what we've been talking about. I'll sit East. And I need, yeah, I'm going to have to reload this up again. I need thick skin. Who always opens a 5-card major, even if he has the points for no trump. That's why I don't partner with him anymore. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I meant to claim. I know what I'll do. I'm going to, if you watch the movie later on, I'm moving that hand to the center. People in Zoom can see it if they're watching on Zoom, but it's now in the movie. So I've got it there for you. If you watch the movie, you can see the entire hand. And I'm moving it off. Okay, so here we are. I don't believe I have a bid. Nope. Need south to open heart. Okay, yeah, got it right. Thick skin is going to bid 2 no trump, showing his shape, and he gets delayed support in hearts. And when I say showing shape, in this situation where he bids 2 no trump, they play that this does not show extra values. It just simply shows a balanced hand with 5 hearts. Okay. And that's where they end. I won't go any further. Okay. So there we go. Thank you for your services, Thick Skin. Put a robot back in there so I don't have to think about it. All right. So 5 hearts. And we get the 3 of clubs as a lead. 3 of clubs as a lead. North had 6 clubs. I have 4. All right. So let's try to figure out some distribution. What's the heart suit? Hearts are 5, 3, 3, 2. Spade suit, kind of iffy at this point, I guess, right? We know that the declarer doesn't have 4 of them, right? Because he's got a 5, 3, 3, 2 hand. So 3 spades, maybe? Not a bad place to start. That would make it 3, 3, 3, 4, 3. 4, 3, 3, 3 with our partner having an additional spade. Does that make sense? Yeah. Diamonds, not a whole lot we can glean there other than North has a stiff, which means the diamonds have to be somewhere, and we have 4. Now look at the club suit and tell me the distribution of the clubs. And on a confidence level of 1 to 10, how confident are we that that is a stiff, and why? What are the cards that we can see? There we go. Pam's got it. What are the cards we can see? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ace and 10. Oh, I played the ace, so the 10 is out. There's a good clue from the, yeah. There's a clue from the bidding as well. That no trump might be a good reason to think. You bet a no trump? Yeah, I did. We knew from the 5-3-2-2. All right, so, but if partner was leading a doubleton, what is the correct lead? If he had 10, what was that, a 3? If he had 10-3 and wanted to lead a doubleton, what should he lead? Yeah. This is carding, right? We need to be able to gather evidence from our carding. And here we know that that partner is now void in clubs. So how many tricks do we have? We have the ace of clubs. Do we have another trick in our hand? Yeah, the king of hearts sitting behind the ace of hearts. Behind the ace of hearts, that king of hearts is always good. It's 100% going to take a trick unless you lead it to the ace. What else do we got? Got a club ruff, probably, right? I mean, South has another club. So we've got a club ruff, and it's not even a maybe. We've already determined that that's 100% correct. West only had 1 spade. So where is the 4th trick, right? We get the ace of clubs, a club ruff, the king of hearts. What else can he have? So if he has the ace of diamonds, this is a pretty simple defense, right? Some other people are assuming that he has the king of spades. So the ace of diamonds, if he has it, and we really don't need to worry about it, right? There's nothing that, I mean, it doesn't look like South is going to be able to pitch 4 or 5 diamonds or whatever he has over there. On the club. So the diamond ace isn't going anywhere. So let's assume he has the king of spades. Okay, you guys nailed the 2 cards that matter. So maybe he has fewer diamonds. He could have 3 or 4 diamonds. What's the next card we play? Allen's in for roughing the club first. Club, club, club. Everybody's in for clubs before trumps are drawn. And now we got somebody in with the 7 of spades. Mark's in with the 7 of spades. Mark's saying, give him the finesse first. What is the distribution of the heart suit? What is the distribution of the heart suit? So how many trump does my partner have? Don't need to get into signaling. Really don't need to get into signaling yet. I don't think there's any point in giving signals until you know how to play defense. Until we're confident in the cards and what we're trying to accomplish, signals are distracting to me. When I play with people who don't signal well, I get very confused. I'd rather they just not signal. Carding is different though. Okay? It's really important to card correctly, and that means in what you lead and how you win. So the options here seem to be lead a spade or lead a club. And there was worry that the trumps would get drawn before we could give the rough. Right? But then we looked at the distribution, which was the key here. Right? We're still in the distribution weeks of this class. 5, 3, 3, 2. Is there any way that West has all of his trumps drawn before I can give him a rough? Okay, carding. Leading the 7, only to say this is not a suit I'm all that interested in. My partner doesn't care about the spades. He's like, oh, man, it's my partner good to figure this out. That if I lead clubs first, I'm never going to get my king of spades. And why is that? Why is it that he doesn't get the king of spades? Because he can't attack the spades from his side of the table. Okay, sorry, I guess I can't undo without being complicated. If I lead a club, he gets his rough, but he can't lead the spades. He can't lead the spades. Right? If we lead the spades, we're doing him a favor. We're giving him the finesse right away. Right? So he leads a diamond. We try a finesse, tries the finesse. So I'm in with my partner still having 2. leads and how you win. So in this case, I would generally want to give a suit preference if I think I'm getting back in. Okay, and it's just almost a courtesy. Hey, partner, if you don't know what to lead, lead this. So basically saying, obviously you can't lead a club. If I lead low, lead me a diamond. If I play high, lead me a spade. Here, it's all meaningless, but and we get our rough to set the contract. All right. So that hand, by the way, is courtesy of Hugh Kelsey, one of the great bridge writers. The key to this hand and to the couple hands that we looked at tonight where we got to play some defense is to use the knowledge of your distribution to make a plan. In this case, we had to make a plan. We also had to work with timing, right? Instead of, hey, I figured out he's got a singleton, I'll give him a rough. We were able to go that extra mile, right, and realize that we needed more than that. We needed more than our king of hearts, ace of clubs, and a rough. We needed a fourth trick to set. And we know that the diamond wasn't going away, so we decided to take the spade, right? All right, so that's what we got for today. Went overtime. I hope it was worth it. We had a late start. That's why I went overtime. I was having all those tech problems. So I will get this posted. We did do the movie this time. So next week will be more of the same. We're going to start working in distribution. In some carding, and we're going to continue working with the idea of making some plans. All right. So our next step is going to start planning. The link won't be up until I post it on YouTube, Pam. If you're, you need to be on the email. I don't know offhand whether you are or not. If anybody wants to get mailed the link, just email me at this address, and I will put you on the email list.